Hello and welcome. This is Varun, Technical Advisor, Design and Prototyping and Educational Consultant for Tutormash.com. In this session, we will be discussing about how to set up sheet and page layout in AutoCAD. Layout is a tab available in AutoCAD. It helps to set up your normal workspace to a paper space. That means in the layout, you're actually working on the paper or the sheet. So it will be looking somewhat like this. So in the layout, you will be having a default sheet which you can append and edit according to your need. So the best advantage of layout is that you can actually see how your drawing looks exactly when it has been printed on the sheet. Now the next term that we have to learn in this topic is viewport. Viewports is nothing but it takes a view of an object in AutoCAD. It is basically used to set different views of the same object in a sheet. Basically, viewport is subdivided into 1 viewport, 2 viewport, 3 viewport and 4 viewport. 1 viewport means you will be having only one view of the object which you can select according to your need. And as the number of viewport increases, it increases the views of the object. That means if it is 4 viewport, you will have a 4 window screen where you can align the 4 views of an object according to your need. Now, as you get the paper space, you must know how to set your sheet and settings in AutoCAD. So for that, you have to go to Page Setup Manager. In the Page Setup Manager, you will be having all the layout listed here according to your need. When you go for Modify, it will give you a page setup option like this. Here there are a lot of options which you can change according to your need. But in my experience, I recommend the 5 steps which you must follow to set your sheet. The first step is that you must select the printer or the plotter. That means whether you want to print directly to your printer or to a third-party software. Basically, we always go for DWG to PDF option. That means your drawing will be printed as a PDF and you can save your document as PDF. Then the next one is paper size. Obviously, you have to select which standard of paper you are going to use. It can be A4 or A3 or any other standards according to your need. There are a lot of predefined paper size available in the drop down here. Then the next one is plot scale. You can use any scale factor or you can go for fit to the paper according to the need. And the next one is plot style table. Plot style table is nothing but it is a certain predefined commands which will help you to plot your drawing. It depends on each settings how your drawing is being plotted. I will give a simple example to explain this. Consider you want a colored output to be printed. So you can go for the plot style that is ACAD.CTB to get a colored output. Or else if you want a grayscale or a monochrome output, you can change this plot style table to grayscale or monochrome. And the last setting that you have to do is you must check your drawing orientation. That means if you have selected a size which is landscape, you must check that whether your drawing orientation is also landscape or not. So after doing this, you can press OK and you can see that your sheet will be set. So now let's see these options in the software. Consider I have a rectangle and a circle like this. And let this be my drawing. So after completing your drawing, you can go to the layout tab which is available here. Basically, you can start your drawing directly from a layout tab also. But for the time being, I have completed my drawing in the model workspace and I will go to the layout tab which is available here. So you can go and click here to get your default layout page. Right. You can rename your layout tab by right clicking on this option and go for rename to give your own name. Let it be sample. Correct. Now, the main thing that you must understand in a layout tab is that there is 2 selections in layout. One is paper selection and the another one is model selection. Now, to get the paper selection, you can double click on the sheet or you can come and select the paper option here to select the paper. And if you want to select the model space, you can double click inside like this and you can move like this. Or you can change the setting from here too. Correct. After knowing these 2 commands, let us see how you can set your sheet. So for that, let me come to my sample option here and right click to get an option called Page Setup Manager. When I click on this option, it will give you the Page Setup Manager dialog box. So as you can see, your sample layout tab has been displayed here. I will go for Modify to modify my settings. As we know, we have to complete the 5 steps to get it correctly. The first one is the printer or the plotter. So from here, I will select DWG to PDF option. You can select any of the option according to your need, but I recommend you to select DWG to PDF as we have to print our document or drawing to a PDF format. So DWG to PDF option is better here. Now the next option that we have to do is paper size. Defaultly, the standard paper size has been selected. You can change your paper size according to a variety of standards available here. So let me select ISO A4 sheet, that is this one. So you can see that it is coming as a landscape. If you want portrait, you can select it again and you can find the same paper size with the portrait alignment here, like this. Let me go back to my landscape alignment like this and align my page like this. Correct. Now, the plot scale is now custom. That means it will be showing 1 mm equal to 0.03937 unit. So for that, let me change it to 1:1, like this. Correct. Now after doing my plot scale, I will go to plot style table. As I said, this is a set of commands which will help you to plot your drawing. So there are a lot of set of plot style table available here. Basically we use ACAD.CTB or grayscale or monochrome. So for the time being, I will select ACAD.CTB. Like this. Perfect. Now after doing this one, the last most option that we have to check is that drawing orientation. That is, my sheet is being oriented as landscape, so my drawing orientation must also be landscape like this. After doing my 5 steps, I will press OK and close to set my sheet. Right. So now you can see that the A4 landscape sheet has been set. And as you can see here, there is dotted lines available here. This dotted line in AutoCAD is known as Printable Area. That means the objects which come inside this dotted line will only be printed. The objects which go outside this dotted line won't be printed. That is due to the standard settings of each sheet. Now that means our object must remain inside this printable area. As you can see here, our object has become very small. The boundary of this object or the square which comprises this object is known as viewport, which we have discussed. So when you select this one, that viewport is selected now. Right. So that means that this viewport is of a scale of 1:1 to this sheet. So you can come again to the page setup manager and go for modify, and you can change the scale to say 2:1 to increase your size like this. That's pretty better, right? You can do it again by going to page setup manager, modify. This time I will give 8:1 and press OK to get it much more bigger like this. So like this, you can set your own scale to get your object accurately on your sheet. Now if this method is difficult for you, while in your paper selection, you can select your viewport and delete it. Right. So that means I have deleted my viewport. Now to bring back my viewport, there is a way. So for that, I have to make my menu bar on. So for the menu bar, I will type MENUBAR and press enter. As you can see, the default value is 0. That means menu bar is off. I'll press 1 to make it on. Now your menu bar is visible here. So to bring your viewport back, you can get your viewport from the view option and you can get the viewport option here. So as you can see, the 4 types of viewports are available here. So I will go for one viewport and I will show my corners like this from here to here so that my viewport lies inside the printable area. So your object exactly comes inside the sheet like this. Correct. Now, if you want different viewports, you can select and delete your viewport, and similarly you can insert your viewport from view, viewports and 4 viewports to get your 4 viewported objects like this. So this is how you prepare your sheet to print your drawings in much more effective way. Now there is a predefined template available for sheets too. So in order to take that template, you can right click on the sample option available here and go for the option called from template. So from here you can go for set sheets like this and select any of the standard templates available here. So I will go for architectural imperial and press open and press OK to get my layout opened here, that is Arc D. This is how you set your sheet for your drawing. Now consider this as my drawing. If I want to plot this drawing into my sheet, I can go to my Layout tab, right click over it, go for Page Setup Manager like this, and go for Modify, and the settings which I have to make is DWG to PDF. I will select my sheet, let it be A3 this time, and the scale factor let it be 1:1, and for the plot style table let it be AUTOCAD.CTB, and checking the drawing orientation as landscape, I will press OK. And now we can see that our drawing is very small. I will select the viewport and delete it, and insert a new viewport from my viewport, one viewport, and inserting inside my sheet like this. Correct. So like this, we use layout to print complex designs and structures to a sheet. So that's the end of this session, and we hope you understood well. Keep posting your queries and feedback, and for more videos, log on to www.tutormash.com. Thank you.